Welcome back to my channel. Today I passed Introduction to Communication, a C464. Sorry, I was reading this up here. And I'm just going to kind of talk about that. So I'll start at the top. As you can see, I took a pre-assessment on the 15th of January, and I did not pass it the first time. I didn't do any studying. I just kind of wanted to see where my gaps were, mostly because I didn't know what exactly to expect in a communication class. That was, I don't know, I've never taken a communications class that was focused solely on like presenting and just like communication strategies and communication foundations. So like I said, I thought it would be more common sense, but there was a lot of terminology that you had to know. So the first time I didn't pass, and after I didn't pass the first time, the course instructor sent me an email saying, hey, we saw you didn't pass, here are some good resources. And in that, she sent a link to a Quizlet that was very useful. I tried to read some of the course material, but it was really dry, and I felt like there was a lot of fluff. So I went to the Quizlet and I studied that for about a day, as you can see. So my second attempt I passed, and I kind of barely passed it. And so I studied some more, and then I took my third attempt and I passed my pre-assessment like really, really well. However, the one downside to this is that I think they give you the same questions each time, so it was hard for me to tell whether I was actually learning or if I was just memorizing what the answers should be. I felt like I was learning, but I wasn't quite sure. So I studied some more, and then I scheduled to take my test on the same day, so the 16th. And while the pre-assessment and objective assessment line up pretty well, like they align pretty well, I would say that the objective assessment was a little bit more difficult than the pre-assessment. And it's kind of hard to say why it was difficult. It's just, I think it was because I got into the mindset that, oh, these questions are exactly what I should expect here. And it's not like anything was worded differently. They were just completely different scenarios and focusing on completely different topics. So all that to say, if you're taking this class, I'll put the link to the Quizlet in the description, but study that Quizlet very, very well. Take a pre-assessment and then take the pre-assessment again after you feel like you've studied the Quizlet very well. And if you do, if you score competent in all areas, I would say you're good to take the objective assessment. But I would not recommend taking it 3 times because you're probably going to have a false sense of confidence in that you're probably just memorizing the answers rather than understanding the concepts. That could not be the case for you, but I felt like it was for me. So like I said, I would only recommend taking the pre-assessment twice, but study the Quizlet heavily. So when it came around to the objective assessment, I took it, I felt fine, and I clicked submit. And once I got my coaching report back, I scored competent in all areas, and I think I was almost, exceptional in one area. I can't remember what the metric is. Oh, exemplary. So almost exemplary in one section, but just overall competent. So that was that. Like I said, you could probably get through this section in a day if you're just studying the Quizlet really, really well. And now on to the performance assessment. So this had 2 tasks. The first task was a presentation outline, and that's pretty easy. You just pick a topic that you want to present on and that you feel like you can present on for 5 to 7 minutes, and then you fill out the template. So that was pretty easy. I did that, got my evaluation returned, and I passed that first task within a couple of days. And then the second task involved making a video presentation where you are actually presenting what you submitted in the first task, and yeah, making that for 5 to 7 minutes. I passed it on my first attempt, but I recorded myself probably 3 times because I didn't really like the way the first 2 turned out. But after submitting the third one, I was just kind of waiting, and WGU puts in that you should, like, your ETA should be like 3 days for your evaluation. But this took a little over 3 days, so I was pretty anxious just waiting because, it's like I didn't want to have to do this task again. But if I was going to, I just wanted to know. So it took over 3 days, but I passed it. So that's all that really matters. But yeah, this class overall, in my opinion, it was just kind of like, felt as if it was mostly busy work. And I retained the information from the objective assessment, but I don't feel like it's applicable personally to know like what communication strategies are called, like what the specific names are. But it's fine. I mean, I learned stuff and it was overall fine. Like I said, it only took me about 2 days to finish the objective assessment, about a week to finish the performance assessment. Hopefully that was helpful. I feel like that was kind of rambly, but like I said, I'll link to the Quizlet in the description because that's extremely helpful and you should definitely pass if you study that. And then you won't have to read the course material. All right. So with that leaves me about 2 classes, and I have 5 weeks to complete those 2 classes. The 2 classes are Change Management and Principles of Financial and Managerial Accounting. I think that's the name of the second one. My goal is to finish the Change Management course this week. It's a performance assessment, so should be pretty straightforward. And then after that, I should have 4 weeks to finish the other accounting class. Kind of nervous about that one, like I've mentioned in the past, but I'm hoping that I can maybe knock that one out in 2 weeks and try for one more class after that. But as long as I finish those 2 classes, I'll be totally fine, and I don't know, maybe take a little 2-week break after that until my next term starts. But knowing myself, that's probably not what is going to happen, and I will just request to have one more class to finish in the last 2 weeks. And yeah, I'm going to be a little over 50% done with my degree, and then I'll have my other terms starting in March. So hopefully this was helpful again, and thanks for watching, and thanks for all the support that you guys have been showing in the comments. Appreciate it.